What is up, y'all? It's your girl Brand New, and I'm back in the building. And this time I am coming back at you with a review of Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 10. This is part 2 of the reunion. I was a little bored with the this part of the reunion. It wasn't as good as I thought it would be, and actually I think part 3 is actually going to be the best. So let's just try to get through really quickly the different things that they were talking about. So the episode pretty much starts out with NeNe and Sheree going back and forth about fighting a battle. Sheree talking about, if you don't want to fight the battle, then why should I have to fight the battle? And NeNe was like, well, I'm definitely going to fight the battle. I'm going to talk to Kim when she bring her ass out here. And we see White's only getting out with her Uber driver, Croy. She didn't arrive, and all with her love muffin talk that, she say to him. And Kim is disgusting. I know we say it all the time, you guys, that Kim should not come back, and I think somebody on here, I think it's Kenya, is gonna say that Kim brings the energy down in the room, and she does, because as soon as she comes in, they're gonna have Kim come in towards the end of the show, but as soon as she joins them on the couch, the energy is just really dead. So we'll get to that when we get there. I also want to mention that we have Eva on the phone with Dr. Jackie. She is contracting every 10 minutes. She's worried, asking Dr. Jackie what to do. And I was watching the show. I was like, hey, Dr. Jackie, girl, married to medicine, Real Housewives of Atlanta, loving hip hop. That motherfucking Dr. Jackie gets around, honey, okay? So, yeah, Eva looks so beautiful pregnant. Oh, my God. And I actually changed my mind a little bit, you guys. I remember I said, well, I don't think Eva should come back, as far as, I don't know if she fits with the girls. She definitely fits with them. After this episode, she definitely fits with them, and we will get to that in a few. So Andy asks Marlo, why was Marlo chasing Portia around in her Babs outfit at the Halloween party? And then Portia steps in, was just like, oh, well, I've been to the gym. I was just hoping that she could keep up, because I remember Portia was running around the party. And then Marlo goes say, well, you don't look like you've been to the gym. Marlo, shut the fuck up. Portia has a curvy body, and I really hate women like Marlo that try to put women's bodies down if a woman is not skinny and slim like her. Portia used to be your size and could be your size if she want to, but them some grown woman curves, Marlo, and you don't have them. Time is not on your side, boo-boo. You don't have them curves that Portia do. Portia looks damn good in that damn dress, okay? So Marlo ends up going into, well, I just felt, Andy, that we both were wrong. And, as far as me speaking on your mad, that's Marlo being a friend. Bitch, that's not being a friend talking about somebody's doormat. And Marlo, you don't know, you so superficial, you don't know how to focus on what's important. A doormat is not important. And this is what I'm saying, you guys. This is what happens when you come from a foster home and you bounced around from house to house. You don't know really what's important in life, especially people like Marlo. They don't. A lot of these people, I realize, and I know because I've been around it, and not just people in my family, just I've met a lot of different women that come, that have been in and out of the foster homes. These people are very superficial, very materialistic, just like Marlo. So you sitting up here trying to talk about her house, and she's getting a Real Housewives of Atlanta check. You ain't getting as much as she is, bitch. So shut your motherfucking ass up. And Marlo, I didn't like at this part how you did not, you could have apologized to Portia for what you did chasing her around the party instead of saying we both are being petty. No, you were the one. She walked away from you and you should have just let it go. But you don't know how to act like a grown woman and let shit go. That's why you don't have a peach now. So you should have owned that. You want Portia to own her responsibility in the Candy situation. You brought that up at the table, but yet you can't own when you're wrong to people. Marlo, sit your ass down. Portia ends up commenting that she just doesn't see it for Marlo anymore. She felt like in Barcelona, Marlo was very toxic towards her, and I agree. Marlo, you need to stay away from Portia next season if you are even welcome back. Please bring Phaedra back. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Phaedra has a very peaceful and calming energy when she is amongst the group. So at this point, just bring motherfucking Phaedra back and you got my motherfucking vote. Some of these people do need to be reduced down to friends. I don't even care for Marlo having a peach. Marlo can be around, but if she ain't gonna take accountability and really be on some real shit, I don't care for her having a peach. Because I feel like, especially with the news that went out with John and how she got with him while NeNe was with him, I just feel like she on some other shit. You know what I'm saying? Check that bitch charges, honey. She different from these other girls. So she may need to stay a friend of the show. Bring Eva back. Bring Phaedra back. Portia, I hope you are seriously in a fucking relationship. Okay? I don't care if it's gay or lesbian either. I want to see whoever the fuck you with. I hope it's a man because you do want children. You know, but you need to be with somebody and we don't want to see you working 10 jobs. We get that you hustling. You know, we get that, but I need to see some new shit. Okay, so really briefly, Andy reads a question that somebody sent to him on one of his little cards, honey. And they're pretty much asking Portia, why did she have that fan all in Marlo's face? First of all, Portia had that fan, but that's what it was. It was a fan. She was fanning herself. Marlo, if you wasn't so much in her motherfucking face, then you wouldn't have been near that fan. You were all in Portia's face, actually, not giving her room. And then you also, once again, tried to play victim. Yeah, that's what I want to know. No, she didn't have that fan in your face. And I don't give a fuck if she did. You was being disrespectful, okay? So, no, that situation, y'all comparing apples to oranges, and you motherfuckers can miss me with that. Those situations are not the same. Kenya provoked Portia with that motherfucking scepter. Was pointing it all in her face. That is not what Portia was doing with that fan. And Marlo, you snatched that fan out of Portia's hand very violently. So, you know, and you was all in her face talking shit to her, kept trying to ask her, was you go confront Kim about what she did? And, you know, that's originally what it was about. But yeah, I don't like that Andy even took time out of his motherfucking day to even try to get on Portia about, oh, well, you shouldn't have had that fan in Marlo's face and you wanted us to feel bad for you when Kenya did it to you. It is not the same thing. So shut the fuck up, Andy, and shut the fuck up to whoever sent that fucking comment in. So Andy gets another question from I guess somebody on Twitter, whatever, that watched the show, and they said, well, Marlo, why do you feel it's okay for you to come for Portia and, you know, you come at her about her past and you the one with the criminal background? And then Marlo was like, well, that stuff was over 15 years ago. And then that motherfucking Kenya was like, well, I've never slit anybody's face. That fucking Kenya kept trying to get Marlo to talk about that. Marlo would skip over that. And I'm with Kenya, shit. I want to know more about you slicing somebody's fucking face. What happened with that situation, Marlo? I believe I reported on that. And I've never heard you really comment on that. But anyways, Marlo, you keep talking about your past, but the way that you're acting now is a representation of your past. You're still violent. You still get all in people's face. You still hit below the belt. You still provoke people. You're not getting arrested the way that you was before. You know, you're around these women and they have peaches and you don't. You know, you're on the show. That's what protects you, but you're still fucking crazy. So you need to grow up. When I look at Marlo, you guys, I don't see grown women. I don't see somebody in their 40s. I see a 15-year-old that just never grew up with the proper love and nourishment. And yes, she wears fabulous designers, but that's a little girl. That is definitely a teenage girl at that, if that shit. But yeah, Marlo, you need to stop coming for Portia. Stop trying to target people. Be more genuine. Be like Eva. But you can't be like Eva because of where you came from. You need to own and make peace with where you came from so you can do better and relate to people now. It was interesting when Andy said to Marlo, oh, well, how did you get all these violations? Because Marlo said she had a couple of charges, and then here and there, and then she said somebody like a Hayden Kenya would call in and say, hey, she had freak nigger, she at this party, and she here, she there. I thought that was kind of funny. And then Kenya once again brought up, so what happened when you slit the girl's face? Exactly. And Marlo skipped right over that. But Marlo, once again, you're not taking responsibility, sweetie. You need to, I was wrong. I did what I did. It don't matter. You still was violating your probation. If somebody was able to snitch on you, you was in violation. So you wasn't doing what you was supposed to be doing, bitch. Okay, so Andy asked Portia a question. How did it feel to hear NeNe say all those nice things about you while you wasn't there at the Love and Light ceremony thing? And Portia said it felt good because I'm so used to everybody throwing me under the bus, and it really gave me a lot of hope for our relationship. And I really like that NeNe took the big sister approach with saying all those nice things about Portia. My issue with you, NeNe, is I wish you wouldn't have came back, though, when you got to Atlanta and at the Halloween party, got on this kick of Portia needs to keep apologizing to everybody. I was with you with your whole big sister thing and you understanding Portia until you did that. And I just felt like it was unnecessary. That girl don't need to keep apologizing to you guys. You guys are older than her. You need to be forgiving her, giving her love, getting over things. After a while, it does kind of look like jealousy. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, let it be, leave it alone, let it go. But yeah, Portia said, she just felt really good about NeNe saying those nice things. And, she really needed it. Okay, next we have Portia and Cynthia going back and forth. And I love what Portia said. As far as when she would get into it with the other girls, they kept bringing a Candy situation. It's just like what you did with Candy. And Cynthia, I'm going to need you to shut the hell up. Because you, of all people, would not like to feel targeted against. You guys were jumping on that girl this season. And you don't need to keep reminding somebody of what they did. They either feel bad for it or they don't. You cannot control how somebody feels. When or if somebody is sorry. Those are guilt trips, and all of that is of your own ego. She don't owe y'all shit. So y'all kept bringing up the Candy situation. Y'all was making y'all self look stupid, Cynthia. I'm telling you, when you have an issue with somebody, if I did something wrong to somebody and we get into it and everybody knows about it, and then I go on to have separate issues with people, I don't want people to bring up the issue I had with somebody else. It has nothing to do with you. What me and what Portia is saying is what I go through with you guys individually is very different from the Candy situation. You guys were using it against me, and you guys were. But Cynthia kept trying to talk over her and didn't want to hear that shit. So let's get to the Candy and Portia thing. They finally decide to bury the hatchet. Candy has started out saying to Portia, well, I just feel like your apology is backhanded. And I was, of course, getting so motherfucking irritated. Bitch, do you need to hear I'm sorry in a different language, Candy, for your motherfucking ass to move on from this shit? Candy, let me break it down to you really quick. You got married to Todd. Am I not right? You got married to Todd. And when you get married to somebody, you are not to have threesomes. I don't know if you guys saw the show. Y'all remember Keisha Cole's show, and her sister Neffy said that with that first husband, she was having threesomes with him, and then he began cheating, and she began getting all this bad karma. Even Neffy admitted that she shouldn't have did those things within her marriage because it made her marriage worse. That's the same thing I'm going to say with Candy. Candy, you put your brand You the one that ruined your brand when you did things like that. You cannot have threesomes in a marriage. You can't kiss coworkers. You can't put yourself in those situations. It just so happened that it was Phaedra and Portia that you was in the situation with. That's a coincidence. But that bad karma was going to come to you, Candy, because you can't get married and do things like that. Threesomes are not supposed to be a part of a marriage. I don't give a fuck how freaky you are. You need to stay single then. But you can't expect to have this blessed life and this blessed marriage if you are going to conduct yourself in an irresponsible way. You will lose everything, and it's your fault. Okay? So anyways, Portia ends up apologizing to Candy again, and they agree to let bygones be bygones and not be bringing it up no more. I really hope that this is true, because in season 11, I don't want to hear this shit no more. I'm sick of this lesbian, and Candy at first was saying, well, you knew it was such a lie. How do we know what you are willing to do if you're the same bitch that's willing to get married and have threesomes? I don't know what you're capable of, Candy. Nobody believed the rumor. Your brand wasn't ruined, not rumored. So don't put yourself in this situation again, and it won't happen no more, bitch. It's that simple. So yeah, they finally decide to let it go, and I'm happy. Portia is actually a better woman than me, because Candy wouldn't even got the apology out of me. It would have been like, bitch, I already apologized. You ain't received it, and that's your fault. Okay? So Sheree little sneaky ass is backstage talking to Kim and Croy, talking about how the girls are saying that Sheree doesn't hold Kim accountable. And here goes Croy. Well, accountable for what? And what does she do? Of course, play dumb, whites only 1 and 2. Sheree, you need to sit your ass down. You don't hold her accountable. You are willing to argue with everybody on that stage and hold them accountable for things. Everybody except for whites only Kim. So you need to sit your ass the fuck down. I also paid attention to Sheree telling Kim that everybody is up NeNe's ass. This is the jealousy, you guys. Kim and Sheree, let me just say this. They do not want the other girls to like NeNe. Deep down inside, they're both very jealous of her. I don't give a fuck what any of them say. They're jealous of NeNe. They don't want Portia, Kenya, nobody to be cool with NeNe. And they really don't like Candy and NeNe being cool. Kim talking about, I just can't understand that. Well, understand it, bitch. So they get off into the NeNe segment of Greg's heart problems, you know, he was having, and NeNe was struggling with that. And then they get into it with how she was fired from the Escape tour for, you know, telling that bad Uber joke. NeNe lets us know that Greg is doing better. And then Andy gets to the Uber joke. Well, how did it get to a point where you wish raped on somebody? And NeNe was just like, I didn't wish rape on somebody, at least not out the blue. Not like how everybody is trying to make it seem. There was a heckler in the audience, and the heckler was telling me to kill myself. And I just said, well, I hope you get raped by your Uber driver. It happened really quick. And, you know, NeNe was very apologetic over it. Andy got to asking, Candy, why did she feel sympathy for NeNe? And Sheree couldn't understand why. And NeNe rolled her eyes, and so did I. Andy, let me get you together. Sheree is jealous of NeNe. Any mistake that NeNe makes, Sheree is smiling and laughing, and of course she will say, oh, I would never do that. Sheree, you don't even work enough to even put yourself in a situation that NeNe is. All you doing is sitting up here waiting on the motherfucker to come home from prison. So that's Sheree's thing. Candy has been in the entertainment business for a long time, so if anybody would understand, she would. You know, she's probably been attacked, you know, about her looks and different things. So Candy looked at it as, okay, you know, somebody said something crazy to her. And just like Todd said on the show, you know, you got the fucking president grabbing pussies and being all disrespectful, but yet he's still our fucking president. But yet these motherfuckers in the audience at a comedy show can say whatever they want. No, you treat people with respect. And like I said to you guys, you can't just think that these people are famous and they don't have feelings. These people are human beings. That person that told her to kill herself, they was wrong. NeNe shouldn't have said what she said as well, but at the same time, don't start no shit, it won't be no shit. And that's what happened with the situation. So Andy ends up asking Marlo, how does she get her money? You know, and she's just like, I have my own businesses, and through the years I've invested well, and I used to date a billionaire. I guess he bought her house, her mama house, her Ashton Martin. So, you know, I'm not hating on that. I mean, if you got it like that, you got it like that. It is what it is. But Marlo, you need to stop coming for the women on this show when you know you ain't even got your money on your own. A lot of them had to get money on their own, and you ain't even did that. You've always had some fucking man helping you. And it was funny when she said simply Marlo LLC, and Marlo said you can Google that on the next break. Kenya was like, if I want to look for porn, I will. And I was cracking up. And Marlo had let Kenya know she doesn't want her calling her a prostitute no more. That really hurts her feelings. And then Portia went on to say, well, you know, I don't want anybody in the future calling me a prostitute, or I don't think anybody else should call anybody a prostitute. You know, it's just not right. You need to have some actual receipts behind it. And Marlo agreed with that. And then Kenya said, well, for 2 years you called me a prostitute and you was calling me whores, and you was, Kenya, you got on here flirting with another woman's husband, and you got in your confessional proud of it. Apollo, he fine. You asked Phaedra, did she want to have a threesome, to pick one of her girlfriends to have a threesome with her husband. You pushed her husband in the pool. You was texting her husband without her permission, without her knowing about it, trying to be on some sneak shit. You did all types of shit, Kenya, for people to think that you was a whore when you got your ass on here. So, bitch, please, miss me with the whole, oh, well, Portia, you were calling me. You got called those things because just like Phaedra said, you deserved it because that's how the fuck you was acting. Okay, you guys, so Eva joins them and she lets them know she is contracting every 10 minutes. And then let's get off into the whole Eva and Cynthia and Will situation. So pretty much Eva says she was upset that Will acted as if she lied about him having a girlfriend when really he did. And it turns out Eva met him that same month that Cynthia met him and was dating him. So pretty much likely he had a girlfriend. You know, and so Eva was like, I didn't like how he was getting all defensive about it. And yet, you know, if you don't have a girlfriend, you don't have a girlfriend. He made it look like I was lying, you know, like I had never seen him with anybody. So she was pissed off about that. Then they asked Cynthia about the whole little situation where Will was, remember when they was in the car and she was picking him up and he didn't want to kiss her. Turns out they had never slept together. And then Andy was like, Cynthia, what have you been doing all this time with Will? Cynthia, you should have been fucking that man. The way you was motherfucking playing dumb for him and turning a blind eye, you should have been getting that motherfucking dick. I thought you was getting that motherfucking dick. They also get off into the whole Candy situation and how Cynthia has been having a crush on Candy, and Andy was just like, Cynthia, you kept coming at Candy. What was that about? And Cynthia was like, it was on my bucket list, you know, I guess to kiss or mess with Candy. And she claims it was all a joke, but Cynthia, the way you kept coming at Candy, and Candy said you bought her some shoes too, you know you want to fuck Candy because you was just way too pressed, bitch. And as it turns out, Cynthia and Will, they're not even dating no more. Cynthia's seeing somebody else. Am I shocked? I told y'all that Will situation wasn't gonna work out because I just didn't feel like Will was good for her. He was good to fuck, but not to be with, you know. And Cynthia claims she like her meat dark chocolate, honey. So that's what that is. She dating a new dark chocolate man. So they play a clip of the ladies in Barcelona, and Candy wrote a D challenge for all of the ladies. It was so hilarious. She did one for each one of them, and she even did did one for Andy on the couch. Andy loved his. I loved it. I thought it was so funny. Okay, so really quickly, Portia and Cynthia pretty much make up over the whole situation of, y'all remember Portia telling Cynthia bad things that she had heard about Will. But I just found out from Cynthia that Portia was her biggest cheerleader with Will. So I see why Cynthia reacted the way she did with Portia. And Portia, you also have to keep in mind, you used to say a lot of things about Peter and him cheating on her and this, that, and the third with his waitresses, but you never even had receipts for that. So I could see Cynthia kind of looking at you suspect about any of your opinions, Portia, or any men that she dates. Okay, so really quickly, they talk about the Eva situation with Shamia and how Shamia asks Eva, how would her fiance feel about her dating women like Missy Elliott? That was fucked up for Shamia to ask Eva that, and I do understand why Eva felt offended. I did, however, thought we were moved on from this situation, but I guess Eva wanted to address it at the reunion, and I am 100% with Eva that Shamia should have never asked her that way. Kenya and Portia tried to defend Shamia, because Kenya go say, well, we've all been asked, have we dated this type of person, this type of man, or no, it's apples and oranges, Kenya. Shamia insinuated that she knew that Eva dated Missy Elliott for a fact and asked Eva how would her fiance feel about her dating women. And she shouldn't have asked that. She should have first asked, well, did you date Missy Elliott? I believe I saw that on the blog. That's how you ask somebody. And Portia, you shut the fuck up, because Shamia just threw your ass under the bus with Sheree. So both of y'all need to shut the fuck up. So that right there pretty much showed me that Eva should be on this show. I kind of like how she got Kenya and Portia and them together on that situation. Eva was like, honey, I am contracting, but I will get you hoes together on how to come at me on this show. So Whites Only comes out. Kim, Whites Only, Zodiac Bierman brings her ass to the couch, and they end up playing the clips of the whole Mbale situation and how Kim was on there acting and go naked and wig was holding hands and, you know, that type of thing. So Andy pretty much asked NeNe, what was your whole point of everybody getting together with Mbale? And NeNe said, I wanted to address the elephants in the room because at that time, the only elephant everybody wanted to focus on was the one between me and Portia. And I felt like a lot of people had different issues in the room. Kenya ends up bringing up the fact that every time Kim comes around, the energy shifts and it is brought down. And I have to agree, Kim brings the motherfucking room down. She's so negative, always complaining, always being so fucking judgmental towards everybody. I'm just sick of her Whites Only ass. They address Kim about her telling Cynthia, just shut up, be quiet, and look pretty. And Kim just said, well, I always say that to Cynthia because she is beautiful. And I don't disrespect her. And, I didn't cross the line with her. Yes, you did, bitch. Kim, you are such a fucking liar. You are such a liar. They played back clips of you, your motherfucking ass getting on here lying. So when you tell somebody, just sit there and look pretty, that's a dig. That's you being condescending towards them. Okay? So Cynthia's a grown woman, a black woman at that. Have some respect, bitch. She can have an opinion if she wants to. Just because she won't sit up there and put up with your Whites Only bullshit, bitch. So they played back a clip of Sheree and Kim on some couch, I guess some interview they did on Bravo, and they had got on Sheree saying that, didn't you hear, you was right with Kim when she said that all Cynthia is pretty. And if she wasn't beautiful, like that, she wouldn't have gotten far in life, if she wasn't so pretty. And Sheree tried to act like she didn't hear Kim say that, and they played that shit back. And then here goes Sheree, oh, well, I guess my memory is, yeah, your memory is slipping, bitch. You know damn well you heard. That's exactly what they're talking about, Sheree. You always try to act like you can't hear or understand the negative and mean shit that Kim says. You full of shit, bitch. Andy tells Kim that she is a little Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Kim said, well, who's that? And Andy said, she's Trump's spokesperson. And Kim looking all disgusted. Yes, that's where that whites only mentality comes from. There it is. Andy, you pointed it out oh so well. So Andy addressed NeNe, saying, why didn't she address Sheree about the elephant in the room party? And NeNe said that her issues with Sheree wasn't as big as, her issues with Kim. She said Kim is her problem. And she goes on to address Kim, stating that, Kim videotaped her handicap sticker at the when she was at the mall, and then tried to act like she didn't see her. And then that stupid ass Kim go try to say, oh, well, I didn't really see NeNe and I got that video from somebody else. You are lying, Kim. You are lying, because it clearly is you videotaping her at the mall. You saw her. You need to own up to it. So NeNe gives it to her, bitch. She's yelling at her and screaming at her, calling her all types of bitches. Kim talking about something, you better stay seated, bitch. And NeNe was like, no, bitch, you better stay seated. So, honey, it pretty much ends with NeNe telling Kim, talk all that bullshit you've been talking all throughout the season. Talk that shit now. Say that shit to my face. You got Candy pulling NeNe back. NeNe keep getting up out of her seat, pointing all in Kim's face. Honey, let NeNe get whites only already. Yes. Now, part 3, honey, is the part that I really need to see. I could have did without some of the shit in part 2, but part 3 is really what I'm looking for. All right, you guys, that is my review of Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 10, Part 2 of the reunion. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It is your girl, Brand New, and I am out.